Hey guys, it's Carmen here, and here I'm actually in quarantine, which is pretty cool. I'm here at it's called Fruit of the Spirit Retreat. It's a retreat that a friend of mine and his wife decided to start up a few years ago. So when I was coming back to Canada, I was praying just what I'm going to do about quarantine because I'm not vaccinated. I still have to quarantine for 14 days when entering Canada. So as I was praying, my friend's name came to mind, so I called him up and I just asked him about quarantining here, and he said sure. And yeah, it's been a blessing. I've been here since Tuesday, and it's been a blessing. I'll just give you a little show. I'm right up there. I'm staying in the top of this little house there, and that's the main house over there. There's a nice little pond here, and then there's a cross that they made out of like an old tree stump, and then they put another piece of cross there, so they have that there, just a cross as a remembrance of what the Lord has done. And then there's like a forest, and I'm just gonna go for a walk. I got up this morning, there's a little bit of snow on the floor, on the ground, but it's melting now. But I just felt like going for a walk. Yeah, it's been a blessing since I got here. I feel I feel more rested than I've felt in a long time. To be open, the past year in Italy has probably been the most difficult year for me that I've ever gone through. Just being in a different place, foreign people, foreign language. I was born and raised in Canada, and my Italian is better than it was, but that's what it felt like when I got there. Just a foreign land with foreign people, foreign customs even, because, I have an Italian heritage, but you learn a lot more when you're there, and you realize that, things in different places are done differently, and you have to get accustomed to everything, which is difficult sometimes, but by the grace of God, He sees us through every difficulty and every circumstance, and, as I said, it was probably the most difficult year I've ever gone through, but by the grace of God, it was such a great blessing, just because it just caused me to draw closer to God. It just caused me to draw closer to the Lord, and that's why oftentimes we can go through trials. The Lord allows us to go through trials. It's that we would be trusting in Him, that we would be leaning into Him rather than other things. And, that's our place of strength. That's where we can be sure that we will have everything that we need to go forward in whatever the circumstance. And the Lord is faithful in all things. So, a difficult year, but such a blessed year. And I'm here for 3 months, and I'm looking forward to going back to Italy and seeing what the Lord's going to do. And, I see that the Lord is working something in the town where I'm living there in Pachino. But also have plans and intentions for other places in Italy and also in Europe as well, by the grace of God. And I just think it's very important in these times to be walking in the will of God. Whatever the will of God is for your life, just walk in it. And, sometimes we get overwhelmed at the big picture. What does God want from my life? But typically, God's plans for our life just consist of taking one step at a time. And for each one of us who call ourselves a believer, there's a step that the Lord has before you. Whether you've listened to Him or whether you've heard Him with the step that He's placed in front of you, or you've ignored it. Sometimes in our flesh, we can ignore what the Lord has been telling us or the step that He wants us to take. But as we seek Him, He will continue to make that step clear. And oftentimes it's a step that will cause us to be stretched further than our limits. We have our comfort zones, and the Lord is always asking us to step out beyond our comfort zones, because that's where we're depending on Him. That's where we grow. And that's where we are pretty much putting it in His hands, and trusting Him to do it. So the Lord typically asks us to step out of our comfort zones, that we would be trusting in Him rather than ourselves. And this is the place of faith. This is where, we're believing in Him, we're trusting in Him, and we're trusting that He will do it. So it's just a step-by-step walk, and that's how He leads us. He never tells us the full story. He might give us an idea. It might give us, a vision of where he's taking us. But, it's a step-by-step walk. His word is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path, right? So as we have the path in front of us lit up and we step forward, it continues to illuminate the path that is before us. So that's typically the way that the Lord works in our lives. So we want to be walking in the will of God, especially in these days. We are in the last days. We are in days that the Bible speaks about. And, I think all over the world we've had a little bit of a breather. But I think that's all it's going to be. It's going to be a little bit of a breather. I do believe there are big things on the horizon as far as prophetic events. And, I don't want to talk details right now. But we want to be making sure that we're walking the will of God. We're trusting in Him. And that's the place of security. That's the safe place to be. That's the place where we will have peace regardless of anything that's taking place in the world. So, I just ask you, is there something that the Lord has asked you to do, a step that He's asked you to take that you haven't taken? Have you, lost fellowship with God? Do you feel like a distance from God in these times that we're living in right now? Because typically that's the way that the Holy Spirit is drawing us to get back to that place of fellowship, that place of communion with God. And I know that I've been in that place many times. And what I do is I'll take time to pray, to fast. That's oftentimes how we can hear more clearly from the Lord, is just humbling ourselves before Him, showing Him that we have, the will to want to be walking with Him. But, we are continually in a battle with the flesh and the spirit. So as you take a time to fast and to pray, the Lord will continue to put that step before you that He's asked you to take, something that He's asked you to do, and that's where you will experience that peace again, that communion, that fellowship, when we finally take that step. And I know, again, like many times the Lord's asked me to take a step that I was just either ignoring, I was denying, I was saying, no, this is not the Lord, this is a crazy idea. But the Lord, oftentimes His ways are not our ways, and He's always, as I said, asking us to take a step that goes beyond oftentimes what our comfort zone is. And it's the best place to be, because we are truly where He would have us be when we do these things. So I'm just in the middle of the forest, and the path is marked, but I don't see the path going forward marked here. Okay, I think I found, yeah, all right. So I'm going to continue on. But we want to be making sure that we're hearing from the Lord in these times. Be in the Word every day, be in prayer every day, be in fellowship with other believers. We definitely need fellowship with each other in these times, to encourage one another, to strengthen one another. We're not going to get through this living a solo Christian life. The Christian walk, the Christian life, oftentimes there is solitude, and there is, oftentimes we feel lonely, that we are the only one that knows what we're going through. But we always remember that the Lord knows exactly what any one of us is going through, and He allows those moments of loneliness and solitude that we would draw near to Him, that we don't have our trust and our confidence in other things or even in other people. Because as good as it is and as nice as it is to have people that we can trust, it's only the Lord that we can lean into fully and completely, that will never fail us. Because even the best of believers with the best of intentions, we are still fallible. We're still, able to fall. And we want to make sure that our trust and our confidence and our hope and our dependence is fully leaning into the Lord. And again, He will, send us people to also help us and support us, encourage us when we need encouragement. And I am here. Where am I here? Okay, the path goes that way. Okay, but I think I'm at a lake here. There's some tall grass and then there's a lake. I don't know if you can see. But that's it. I just wanted to make this update video, and I'll be in quarantine until the 19th. I'm not sure if I'm out on the 19th or if I have to finish the 19th. I have to double check. But I look forward to spending the next few months in Toronto and continuing on. And let's continue to look to the Lord. He's our strength. He's our hope. He's the only one that is going to see us through the times that are before us, because we are definitely in times that the Bible speaks about. Bible speaks about many things that will happen in the end times. Let's leave it at that for now. We'll see you later. God bless you. Be well in the Lord.